Hello traders, welcome. I am so glad that I get to do a video. It's been a long time, but because of over 17,000 views, I decided to give you guys a treat. And one of the things I wanted to do was answer a question that I get a lot and that I see a lot of debate of from traders, and that is, can I trade Wyckoff without volume? Well, today I'm going to help you to understand the importance of understanding the raw price data using volume. And so volume is extremely important, and Wyckoff tells us that the most important things that can be known about the price action of the market or an issue is its trend. Now, step one of the Wyckoff method indicates that the position of the action relative to the trend is also an important piece of knowledge. A third essential element in developing analysis for the action is judging the character of the action. And here's the important thing, because this is what a lot of traders miss. The character of the action is actually revealed by its relationship, watch this guys, between the price and the volume. And so in order to truly understand what price is doing, we need to understand what it is doing in relation to volume. And so there are a lot of traders that are actually trading and saying that they're doing Wyckoff, but yet they have no understanding of what the volume is indicating along with the price. And so the truth is, a lot of traders are only guessing. Some of your best and most liked Wyckofian so-called traders are only guessing the waves because they do not use the volume and they do not understand the relationship that the volume plays, the important relationship that it plays with the price action. Now, a lot of them may debate with me, and a lot of people may comment underneath this and debate with me that the forex is decentralized. And of course, we know that for currency to be traded and for price to move from one level though to another, what is required? Volume. Volume is required even in currencies. Or let's put it another way. Volume is the gas tank, okay, of the trading machine. And so without volume, we wouldn't have movement in the currency market. And so even though it is decentralized, volume is still important. But the thing about it is, volume is usually overlooked in the study of forex chart. The focus has been more on price action, okay? And so while we are going to identify price and why it's important for us to understand price, and so many of us are so good, especially the smart money traders, we're good at price action, but what's missing? What's the missing formula from our price action? Okay, and that is what we call volume analysis. Actually, volume, like I said, man, it is required, guys, to move the market. But it's a particular type of volume that really matters. Not institutional money, or what we know as smart money, which is large amounts of money being traded in a similar way, thus affecting the markets greatly. Only volume shows when price is being affected by this type of activity. So a lot of our smart money traders aren't really smart money at all. Okay, because if they do not use volume, then they don't understand what the institutions are doing. In order for you to truly understand institutional movement, institutional flow, institutional action on a chart, you've got to understand what the volume is saying, okay? Because what happened, we're able to track those type of traders and trade along with them so that we're swimming along with the proverbial sharks rather than being their next meal. And a lot of you guys have been following smart money traders trying to apply Wyckoff without volume, and you've been getting eaten alive. And that is something that I see so much with a lot of traders, especially those that come and they talk with me about using volume. Now here's the common misconception again, and that's why I'm highlighting this, is that forex volume, they say, cannot be used reliably, and that is the biggest myth. Okay, now firstly, of course, we already identified that there's no central exchange, and so, you know, there's no official volume data. And then secondly, when you're looking at the volume data on your forex platform, you're actually seeing what we call tick volume. Okay, now this is different from volume traded in stocks. But now, don't overlook or underestimate tick volume, because tick volume actually measures the number of times that the price ticks up and down. And this is an excellent indicator of raw strength, of the raw activity given in a price bar, but also The correlation between tick volume and actual traded volume is incredibly high. In 2012, Casper Marney, head of Marney Capital and XUBS and HSBC trader, conducted an analysis of actual volume and tick volume in forex, and here's what he concluded. He used data from eSignal, EBS, and Hotspot for the pairs that he studied, and watch what would happen. He calculated the correlation between tick volume and actual volume is actually over 90%. And you can see right here, the volume in futures and in stocks, it correlates so well with tick volume, and so tick volume is absolutely important. And so what do we get from what I'm talking to you about today is that this smart money is necessary to move the market, and it is revealed in what? In the volume. And so the next time you watch a smart money trader who's just guessing the waves tell you about Wyckoff, you've got to ask them, are you understanding this through the volume and the price action? Number two, forex tick volume can be read as an accurate indicator of institutional or smart money strength. Okay? And so if you're trading smart money without volume, you're not trading smart money at all. VSA then, when it's kept simple, can be applied and taught more easily with win rates of up to 75% and even more. Okay, because at the end of the day, we understand when supply is greater than demand, or when demand is greater than supply, not only through price, but also through the volume that is traded in that price. Okay, and then as we just surmise this, and we're going to give you some examples of what happens to traders without volume, we understand that one of the laws of Wyckoff is supply and demand. Okay, because it's supply and demand that determines the direction of the price. Now, this principle is central to the Wyckoff method. It is a law, and if you violate a law, what happens? You get yourself in a whole heap of trouble. And so the investing method with Wyckoff tells us that when demand is greater than supply, that price rises, and when supply is greater than demand, price falls. The trader or the analyst can study the balance between supply and demand by what? By comparing volume and price. Okay, but we focus mainly on price. Okay, but we have to understand that we cannot truly be analysts, and we cannot truly do what Wyckoff himself actually understood, that you needed to understand what the raw data was telling you between supply and demand through the traded volume, okay, through reading the tape. And so this law is deceptively simple, but learning to accurately evaluate supply and demand on the bar charts, as well as understanding the implications of supply and demand patterns, takes considerable practice, and it takes understanding volume. Okay, let's get an example here. Now, most smart money traders automatically would begin to label something like this right away as an accumulation. Okay, and they would label this as a spring. And the reason why they're labeling it this way is because what they're doing is they're going off of price patterns. Okay, they're going off of price patterns. And so as the price goes on, they can be confident that, man, this is an accumulation. And so they start to label it. Okay, and most of us get caught up inside this same kind of action, and of course this would have been our spring. But if you were actually doing price action, okay, with volume, you would actually understand that this is not an accumulation. And most traders would have been trading this right now at this present moment as an accumulation, because guess what they're missing? They're missing the actual key ingredient to understanding the relationship between supply and demand, and that is through the volume that is traded along with the price action. Now, here's what happens. All of a sudden, price goes against them and takes them out of their positions. They got their order blocks down pat, they've got their imbalances down pat, and they've got certain patterns down pat. But because they are missing volume, they don't understand what the price is doing. Now, in contrast, when you understand volume and you begin to add that with your price action of smart money trading, now that volume, if we were looking at this particular range now, would tell us, okay, that in this range, that supply is actually greater than demand. And instead of looking to buy this market, okay, the smart money trader that truly understands volume and price would actually be looking to put in a sell position in this market. And you can see that when you understand the volume and the price, you would have been able to trade this price action greater than a normal so-called smart money trader, because all that they're doing is focusing on the patterns of price. And this could fool a lot of smart money traders thinking that this was a spring because immediately it went back into the trading range. But yet within the trading range, we understood that through the volume, okay, and price, that the supply was greater than the demand. And so can you trade Wyckoff without volume? The answer is absolutely no. Here's what I want you to do. If you want to understand how to read volume, and we do it well, we don't just read volume like the normal trader. Okay, we read volume like a book. And without volume, you're not going to understand price action well. And that is why some of you are struggling and asking yourself, is this a distribution? Is this a redistribution? Is this an accumulation? Is this a reaccumulation? Because you don't understand the true understanding of raw price data and supply and demand through volume. I hope this video added value to you guys, and we hope that you can connect with Prophetic Pips.